Welcome everyone to another video, and today we're going to take a look at another theme that I'm using right now in Great League Remix. It's a double ice theme, so I went with a Unova Stunfisk lead with Frostlass and Lapras at the back. So surprisingly, Unova Stunfisk actually has a very good matchup against the common poison double dark team that you usually see, like the Nidoqueen, Obstagoon and Mandibuzz. So as long as the Obstagoon does not get a buff from the Night Slash, it is able to win the one shield, I believe. So yeah, and then we have Lapras and Frostlass to handle the potential grass types that might be at the back, or the ground water types, because those are the main weaknesses for Stunfisk here. So going into this match, and then we have Stunfisk locked into Probopass, which is good, but then again they did kill off our Lapras, but we managed to get a shield. Probopass is not as bulky as Bastardon, so it cannot tank more than one surf. And then we bring in our Frostlass against the Whiscash. Frostlass is really nice as a closer because it has a very nice moveset. Powder Snow has a very nice energy generation, whereas Avalanche and Shadow Ball hits really hard, even to those that are neutral. But then again, our opponent here realizes that he can win by shielding his Whiscash, which I really hoped he didn't, because that was our only win con, because we did not want the Rock Throw Probopass to meet our Frostlass, because we were still switch locked at that point when they swapped out. And yeah, and then they have a Mandibuzz at the back, which is very problematic because our Stunfisk is a mud shot Stunfisk. It does do better against things like against other electric types or even poison types, which Lapras might struggle against. So yeah, and then here we lost the first game here. Mandibuzz is very tanky, and even though Unova Stunfisk is also quite tanky, because of that it is not able to do as much damage on Mandibuzz. And here our Frostlass is going to take the last hit, which is, yeah, I mean, not a good start, but then again it does get better from here on out. And then here we lost another league. Perfect, right? This team actually is quite beneficial if you lost the lead, because you have the Lapras at the back here, extremely bulky, can turn around the matchup, especially if you get the Skull Bash here, which we are gonna get here, which is very much so satisfying to get it, to get the Wigglytuff to get hit by a Skull Bash. And now our Lapras has one stage defense buff, and we are able to beat the Wigglytuff and win switch back. And then they brought out their last Pokemon is a double Charmer team. So this is a very interesting take on a double Charmer team, especially with Venusaur banned in the Great League Remix. So running Whiscash with double Charmer is actually quite nice, because a lot of the normal Pokemon that you will find that hard counters it is banned, like Skarmory, or yeah, or like I said, Venusaur also is banned in the Remix Cup. I think the only problem for this team will most probably be Razor Leafers, but again Razor Leafers would be very tanky. And then here we brought in our Frostlass to deal with the Diggersby, and we can tank the first Fire Punch no problem. And then yeah, here's where we have to start. We have to start shielding, because we do not want Stunfisk to be locked in with Diggersby here, even though the only real damage is from Earthquake. But then again, Mudshot does add up in the long run. And here I feel that my opponent made a mistake. They should have shielded their Diggersby here, but yeah, they just let it go, which is very fortunate for us, because then we can bring in our Stunfisk here and double up on a charge move, throw a Mud Bomb bait first, which they have to shield in order to have any type of win con, and then we managed to throw in a discharge to seal the deal. GG's to my opponent right there. Very cool lineup. Aromatisse has quite decent bulk as well. So yeah, going to the next game, another lost lead, and this is not as bad as like the Diggersby or Wishcash matchup, because Stunfisk can actually survive one drill run. But yeah, I just have to count the fast moves properly so that I can throw the second charge move before they get to a second drill run. So it's either I can beat the Escavalier, or I would take one of their shields and take shield advantage instead, and then can come in with Frostlass. And here they decided to shield it. They want to preserve their Escavalier, and I just needed, I think, one more mud shot to get to a Mud Bomb, but it was very unfortunate I couldn't get there. And then here I have to shield the Frostlass. I can just farm it all the way down, get loads of energy, and then hope to just throw it at whatever it is that comes in. And they have a Wishcash, and we can almost double up here on the Avalanche. 2 Avalanches will KO the Wishcash from full health, but then again, most probably they, after seeing that first Avalanche damage on their Wishcash, they would most probably shield this, and they did. And so we just swap into our Lapras here, and yeah, we let it go first. And it's quite weird that our opponent threw a Blizzard there. It is because Lapras is double resist Blizzard, and that's just a lot of wasted energy. I think they would have been better off throwing double Mud Bombs instead. And here we can just throw a Skull Bash, raise our defense, and to make sure that the next charge moves that they do throw will not do as much as before. Plus Frostlass will do quite bad against Mandibuzz. And here we managed to throw the Surf on the Mandibuzz to take it out, and then of course their Wishcash at the back has very little health left, and they couldn't do much anyways. 2 Mud Bombs were not KO after the buff. And yeah, so as long as we get to the Surf here, we win the game. So yeah, I mean, this team is very interesting. A lot of times you can pivot to one of your ice types to lure out their fire types, or their rock types, which Stunfisk is very good at. And then here we have another lost lead. This first set we have a lot of lost leads. Not gonna lie, it's like I was doubting myself especially after this game. But then again, I believe that it was quite decent, and maybe it's just the luck of the draw. So here we managed to get to a second charge moves, I think on the 4th Hydro Cannon. So they are 1 Hydro Cannon short of the second Hydro. Yeah. So here they have Toxicroak, and I think here I made a. It could have potentially been a very big mistake. I could have swapped out and taken the damage on the sneak in counter on the Frostlass so that I can preserve my my Stunfisk with that extra energy that I had. We had an extra Mud Bomb, which could have been very nice, especially after we see what was the last Pokemon at the back. And then here they didn't want, and here they still stayed in, which is very interesting. So which means that they most probably have another Pokemon that is weak to ice type moves here. And then we managed to catch it on Lapras, because at that point because they were ahead on energy during the because of the Stunfisk farm down. We were gonna CMP tie there on the second charge moves, and then here their last mon is Shadow Nidoqueen, and here because we have the Avalanche thought on Frostlass, we needed to throw straight away because if I'm mistaken they're on 4 poison jabs already. They just need 1 more, even though Frostlass is resisting the poison jabs. It still hurts because Frostlass is just so frail. You see here counter almost taking us down, but then again the Powder Snow is just too much for the Toxic Rogue. And then here we have a very interesting elite situation because Dusclops is not a Pokemon that I would have actually considered in terms of my team building as a potential threat. I mean, of course, if it has Ice Punch, then most probably it will beat Stunfisk if I don't shield. But then again, they keep throwing Shadow Punches here, which I find very interesting because Shadow Punch is just a very weak move, and with Dusclops' high bulk, it doesn't do that much damage. You can see here, I think this is like the 3rd Shadow Punch, and it doesn't do much. And then they swap into a Granbull, and then here I made a really weird swap decision, but then again later on after seeing their 3rd Pokemon, I think it was a very good decision on my part to actually do that. And then here they just shielded it, and then they managed to farm us down, but we did take both shields away from Granbull. And then here we just get to the charge move. They did not manage to throw anything at all to us, so it's just all wasted energy on the part of Granbull. Then they bring in their Dusclops again, and yeah, we can just basically come in with Lapras, double shield, get to the Skull Bash, and here we have Whiscash. So yeah, this is where we want our Lapras against. We want it against the Whiscash, bulky water type versus bulky water type. So we have 2 shields. There's no point of us trying to take the initial Mud Bombs. We can just double shield and get to the Skull Bash first, but then again the opponent realizes it and just quits on us. And then we have another Empoleon lead here, which is again very unfortunate, but then again we misplayed here a bit. We wanted to CMP tie with them, but then again they managed, we only did it at the 6 Hydro Cannon, I believe. So yeah, so we already desynced there. So they're already at 7 Hydro Cannons, like 8, 9. Yeah, so we try to realign again with them to hopefully get a shield. And it's nice that they actually shielded, and then we managed to throw another one. The opponent thinking that they might be able to farm us down, and we did manage to win the switch. And here they have Frostlass, which is, I wouldn't say that it's a core breaker, but then again it is very hard to take down because Frostlass can beat 2 of Pokemon straight up if it wins especially if it wins CNP against our own Frostlass, because our own Frostlass is not really that good in terms of the IV spread. And here I'm contemplating whether or not to shield, but then I just shielded just in case because I already had the Surf ready to go. And then here I just throw the Surf, and then they caught it on a Dragalge, which totally walls our charge move Surf. And then we tried to farm it down, but we couldn't, seeing the damage that iShot was doing. And then here I should have just switched in earlier. They managed to get to a Outrage, and yeah, it kills our Frostlass, and yeah, we lose this game as well. Nothing much we can do here. And they just can come in with their Frostlass again and then Powder Snow us down. It was close. I mean, Maybe we have swapped earlier, we could have shielded ourselves from that Dragon Tail damage from Dragalge. And then finally, in our next game, we do have a lead win against Registeel. And we can just basically go straight for the Mud Bombs. We can tank one charge move here on our Stunfisk, no problem. So we don't have to shield the first one. And then as you can see, Focus Blast only does around 50% and the opponent straight away quits the game. Most probably they have other things that are weak to Stunfisk, like maybe Nidoqueen at the back, which could be a popular pick. But then again, most probably they realize that Registeel most probably is their hardest counter for Stunfisk and it doesn't do as much. So yeah, another sort of a lead loss here, and they with Dewgong going against our Stunfisk, and then their counter switch into our to a Sunny cast form into our Frostlass, which I think was a mistake on my end. I think I should have gone for a Lapras instead on the switch in. At least with Surf we can do super effective damage on them while we only taking neutral. And yeah, this match is just very iffy to begin with because they did have a Pokemon that is not usually seen. I mean, I do use Cast Form as well, but then again, Cast Form is not something which is very commonly used in GBL. Maybe in Sylph or some restricted meta it might have some usage. And then here we brought in Dewgong. I mean, we brought in our Lapras against their Dewgong, and there's nothing that we should shield here from the Dewgong because everything is resisted. I think the best they can do is Water Pulse, which is single resisted. But then here we thought that we could get to our Skull Bash before their Mud Bomb so that we don't have to use a shield straight away. But they did get to it, and so we have to shield it to preserve as much health as possible. But yeah, unfortunately this the two water types that he have in his team is just super bulky, and there's not that much that we can do here. And yeah, so it's just a very long drawn out match that's just very draggy because both are just super tanky and not doing as much damage. And yeah, so this one I'm just thinking that maybe there is some win con for me, but then again, after I realized that the Dewgong is very high on, still has a lot of HP, I'm just hoping that he throws right here and then or shields so that I can come in with Stunfisk. But not knowing, but then again I forgot that Stunfisk did not have any energy left, and here they are just able to farm us down with Ice Shard, get loads of energy, and then they can just IC win our Stunfisk later. So yeah, very interesting indeed. I mean, Dewgong and Whiscash. I mean, yeah, it kind of does make sense. Both of them do cover each other pretty well in a way. And then here our next match, I think this is the second to last match. And then here we have Primate. Primate is super dangerous because it has access to close combat. I should have known better. They would have baited it first, especially when I have not thrown the charge move. And then there they were able to get another counter snuck in, which is very bad because then they are able to get to a close combat here at the same time as when we wanted to throw our Mud Bomb. But then again, we just managed to leave it to throw us a charge move, but then again they let it go. So I would have thought they would have shielded there, but then again, knowing that they let it go means I get to see their Pokemon first before I can be able to make a decision on what Pokemon to bring in. And because they brought in Blastoise, I can bring in Lapras first, get to the Skull Bash and boost my defense. And if this lands, it is very massive because Blastoise is quite chunky, and here they have their own Unova Stunfisk, and we swap on the charge move to take the discharge on our Frostlass. So yeah, so here I think one more discharge still would not have done enough, but then again the mud shots later on would have been enough, but we still think that we can survive to maybe get the two avalanches. And yeah, I mean another thing that my opponent made a mistake here. They did not shield. I'm not sure why, because their Blastoise is quite low on health as it is, so they needed the Stunfisk to put the Lapras low enough for Blastoise to water gun it down. And here we use our last shield and just throw the Skull Bash to boost our defense once again. And after this boost, one Hydro Cannon I think still will not be enough because it's already one stage boosted. And yeah, we can just farm down with Ice Shard right here. Then now our last game here, we have a Ariados lead against Stunfisk. I thought that my Stunfisk here can reasonably tank the lunge, but then again I forgot how glassy the bug types are in the game, and here it just basically takes out around like almost 30% of my health, so it's not very good for me right now. I have to swap out to Lapras after the charge move, but then again they swap out at the same time into their own Milotic, into their Waterfall Milotic, which is quite, I mean, it's quite nice for me because then it's better for me as opposed to a Dragon Tail Milotic, because Dragon Tail will be doing neutral as opposed to resisted damage. And here they let go of the Ice Shard on their Milotic, and then I shielded just in case if it was a Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam would still hurt even though we already buffed our defense once, and then after I shielded that first one, I can just let the rest of the charge moves go. And here we can see that Waterfall and Surf still hurts even though we have buffed our defense once, and then we managed to Wind Switch from them, and then they bring in their, I think they brought in their Ariados again. Yeah, so we can throw the Surfs, almost a back-to-back Surf. We need to start taking shields from them, and then here they brought in their Abomasnow, hoping that they throw, and they did. So this is definitely a Weather Ball. It's definitely way too fast for Energy Ball because it was only 5 Powder Snows. And then here we throw the Avalanche straight away to take their last shield, pressure them into throwing the Energy Ball. And here we made a call because their win con here is to land an Energy Ball straight away without us shielding. And then we did call it right, and then we immediately go for another Avalanche, and this is also way too quick for another Energy Ball, and it was just a Weather Ball, and we managed to take out the Abomasnow here. And then their last mon is of course the Ariados. Couldn't do much now. I mean, it's 3 versus 1. All 3 Pokemon have energy, and here we land the final Avalanche to take the win. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Let's see what I have. I mean, let's see what I have after this. I mean, I'm just gonna start changing themes now because right now GBL I'm just gonna have fun with it, see whether or not it works, and if it works I'll bring it to YouTube. So yeah, Give us a like and comment down below what you think about this video, and I'll see you in the next one.